Hello and good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to The Done Creative. Before we get into this pick a card reading, I just wanted to let you guys know I have a live stream channel and a writing channel. Both of those are linked in the description below. And also if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can always email me at amanda@donephotodesign.com. Link for that also in the description below. But for this pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out what messages are going to be following you around. So if you've already been seeing these signs, these symbols, synchronicities, or messages from Spirit, just know that this is good validation that you're on the right track and that you have received the messages. If these messages are news to you, then you may just start seeing them in the very near future. But if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to center your energy, and focus in on pile number 1 with Ravi Shankar and the Golden Healer, pile number 2 with Iggy Pop and the Chrysocolla, and pile number 3 with Bruce Springsteen and the Spirit Quartz. If more than one pile calls to you, there may be messages in each pile for you. But once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also pin them as the top comment. But please remember, you guys, these are general readings, so only take the information that resonates with you, your life, your situation, and just go ahead and leave the rest behind. So without delaying this any further, I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on your cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group 1 are those of you who selected the Golden Healer Quartz. This is going to be your message that's following you around. If you haven't seen these signs yet or these messages yet, just you wait. They're going to be everywhere very soon. So we have the Ravi Shankar card that you use to select your pile, and it says here, always read and play between the lines. So I think you guys might be getting a lot of subconscious information that's now becoming conscious. That's really what I'm seeing from this. And this need to get out in nature more is really reflected as well, because the Golden Healer is about connecting to our roots. It's about healing from the past and moving forward. And it also says here, yeah, your true nature is reflected in silence. So meditation, being in nature, and we have a lot of reds, oranges, and kind of yellowy colors here. We also have some purple highlighting it. So it's like you're bridging the gap from your lower chakras to those higher chakras with a lot of grounding, a lot of nature, maybe even music is really helping you, because it says music is the infinite space between two souls. So maybe you've been listening to or are soon going to hear a song on the radio from someone who passed on or someone who's no longer in your life. It reminds you of them, of the good times. I see this as a good thing. This is a good song, something that makes you feel good, even if you do kind of a bittersweet feeling around it, like, man, I really miss that person, or I wish things could be like they used to, or whatever it is. Really, you're going to leave with a sense of, okay, I feel good, I want to move forward. Maybe some of you are even getting inspired. Music might be really inspiring you, and not just your run-of-the-mill top 40s pop type songs. This might be binaural beats, this might be music you're creating yourself, or some indie band that you just discovered. It doesn't always have to look like what everyone else is listening to. That's really a message coming through for you guys. All right, so music might hold the key for you guys. I just really was feeling pulled to that music oracle deck today. What other messages are going to be finding you soon? Okay. But yeah, I think maybe a collective message is really tuning in with our clairaudience, with our, our hearing. What are we hearing? Okay, we have here the Ace of Wands. Yes, there's major inspiration coming in for you guys, and it feels so exciting. We also have here Black Numen. Dun, dun, dun. I'm actually going to grab the book for this because it is a card specific to this deck, the White Numen Tarot, but it's the Black Numen. So let me grab that. Okay, so I know it's at the back of the book. Okay, so it says here the keywords are void, which, silence could be considered the void as well, pending loss or corrosion. The two Numen face their own extinction, two branches upside down, just about to burn into the sacred fire. The world is about to be spun upside down, and yet they still guard their altar, which drowns slowly into the depths. Once absorbed by the haze, their sacred nature shall depart, simply beasts once more. Still with the promise of a re-encounter of the divine, the Black Numen symbolizes clinging on to causes that may seem lost, distraction and confusion, a challenge to faith with the knowledge that it shall return. So it's like, I'm really reading this as kind of a Tower card moment, but with a major silver lining. It's like any of you that have recently or are going through or maybe soon will go through some sort of major setback or loss in some way, again, there's a silver lining to it that is bringing you like a new foundation. It's like the crumbling of the old to make room for the new, specifically with this Ace of Wands coming in as well, because this new energy is coming in to inspire you to take action in a very spiritual, a very creative direction coming up, which is very beautiful. For some of you, this could even be a new relationship if you're looking to get with a more masculine counterpart, because the phallic energy here of the Ace of Wands always reminds me of that. So maybe even new passion ignited in a relationship. And I think it's very interesting how we were talking about the reds and oranges and yellows, but also that crown chakra purple or violet color here. And we have the same kind of color scheme reflected in these two cards. I think it's very beautiful that that came out the same, or to reflect. It really does tie into the reading. So the colors, specifically red, orange, yellow, and purple, maybe even some indigo blues, are power colors for you guys right now. Specifically the golden healer, which really does resonate with the solar plexus and the sacral chakras. But I'm getting a download already that whatever color the card is that we are gonna have here is also important, or maybe the most important. There's purple. Yes, there's that personal growth we've been talking about. But again, there might be this need for interlude or silence, because it says always read and play between the lines. That's when nothing's going on. That's when no music is being listened to. That's when, no singing is being done. And there's that silence word here as well. And the infinite space, music is the infinite space between two souls. Even after the song is over, it's like there's still more to learn. There's still more to be gained. And I'm hoping I'm not cutting that off. Hopefully you can see that. And then the number 7. So some of you might be life path 7. Maybe you're seeing the number 7 everywhere, or 77, 777. They just showed me 677. I don't know. Maybe you're ending a 7-year cycle. Yes, okay, that's what's coming to me. So what was 7 years from the time of my filming this would have been 2015. Wow, was that already 7 years ago? That blows my mind. But again, timeless reading, so you can calculate back 7 years, and probably around the time you're watching this, I'm filming this in May of 2022. So think back to May of 2015 and really examine what was going on in your life around that time. But if you're watching this later, 7 years back from the month and day, and kind of 3 month, they're showing me like a 3-month window. So maybe 3 months before this date or 3 months after this date, 7 years ago, or right smack dab in the middle of that 7 years ago date in whatever year you're watching this in, -7. But yeah, you guys really are expanding your consciousness, your, again, creative abilities, your spiritual gifts, your talents. Wow, you guys, this message is really going to be following you around over the next, they're showing me, again, 3 months. So over these next 3 months, you're really wanting to, kind of work on you more than anything, or any passion projects that you have or that are occurring to you. These could be new ideas that aren't even on your radar yet, but very soon will be. What do we have here? We have Meadow, vulnerability. Pairing this up with the personal growth, I can see that this isn't going to always be the easiest road or easiest transition for you guys to go through, specifically also with this Black Newman. It's going to take you guys really going to the depths, very 8th house energy, facing some deep fears, doing some healing and releasing of things from the past so that you can move forward. And again, I'm being drawn, well, there is all this green, which is, resonant with the heart chakra, but we've got these pops of purple and pops of yellow, solar plexus energy, and of course purple crown energy that we've already been discussing. But yeah, really, it's going to take you guys to a place, vulnerability-wise, that maybe you've never gone to in this incarnation. But look, as you go to the depths, you will then emerge. And I love this because this is kind of the, lily pad kind of vibe, but we've got the dragonfly. And just like many insects, specifically the life cycle of the butterfly, the dragonfly has a very similar life cycle, from the egg to the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the dragonfly kind of vibe, or pupa stage, whatever you want to call the caterpillar stage. But this is you emerging as a greater version of yourself after the next probably about 3 months is really what I'm seeing here, because you are focusing on your internal and spiritual growth, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, all the healths. You're focusing on it so that you can overcome and just really, again, like embrace or emerge into who you're meant to be. Not that who you've been isn't part of who you're meant to be, because I think, it's all about the journey. It's not just about becoming that one great version and screw the rest. No, this is about you embracing who you used to be, who you are now, and who you will be, all simultaneously, while forgiving yourself for past misdeeds or, ways that you struggled in the past, and giving yourself some grace to be where you're at right now, even if it's not exactly where you want to be. And also the, confidence to step into who you're becoming. It's going to be so important. So some of the signs that are really standing out to me, maybe dogs, wolves. We've got, this to me almost reminds me of like a caveman, like club, a baseball bat almost as well. Maybe you're going to be getting the Ace of Wands in a lot of readings if you do your own readings or watch pick-a-cards. The number 7 is following you around. There's a lot of flower symbolism. Maybe things from India, because Ravi Shankar is an Indian musician, very famous in India. I first ever learned about him back in like 2001 in my ethnomusicology class. It was such a fun class, and then I later took another class, cultural music appreciation class, and he was like the star of the show. Anytime we spoke of Indian music, he always showed up, so I love that he came out for you guys. And his music is very high vibe, if you ask me. I just love it. But yeah, you may be coming across also a lot of personal growth, self-help books, spiritual books, or even if they're not spiritual or self-help, maybe they're fiction or it's a movie you're watching, but you're really getting personal messages from what you're consuming to help you level up. I know these aren't sunflowers, but Spirit's kind of highlighting sunflowers, that really bright yellow solar plexus color. Maybe also carrying around a golden healer if you have one or if you can find one would be very beneficial to your energy, as well as amethyst. I'm really seeing amethyst, and also lepidolite is another purple stone that you can carry. And they're showing me also black shungite and black tourmaline, obsidian, moldavite. Moldavite's always a fan favorite, at least for me. If you're looking to overcome a lot of what used to be to step into who you want to be, moldavite is a expert at helping you move through that. It doesn't always feel good, but it puts you on your highest path. It really does. All right, so that's pretty much the message. It's going to be messages or signs, symbols, synchronicities that are going to be following you around. And I hope you liked this reading. It's kind of something a little different. I didn't even really know what we were going to figure out or discover when I started, but I'm glad we're doing this. But please feel free to let me know below any stories you want to share, what you thought, if it resonated. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you, Group 1, right here back at the Den Creative. All right, bye! All right, Group 2, or those of you who selected the Chrysocolla and the Iggy Pop card, this is going to be your message that's following you around. These may come in the form of signs, symbols, synchronicities that you keep seeing, have been seeing, haven't seen yet, but will be, wherever you fall on the spectrum. But if you are getting a lot of signs that you've been seeing around or in other pick-a-cards, just take that as great validation that this is your pile. And if not, these could still just be coming for you in the future. But the Iggy Pop card here says, don't waste time growing up. So this is a very inner child message. I love that Chrysocolla, I didn't even really think about it, just putting them, I just kind of thought, oh, with the thumbnail, this color looks good with this one looks good with this one. So that's how I selected what stone went on which card. But I really like this. To me, this is playful energy with the Chrysocolla. This is just playing pretend and speaking your truth. Because as young children, you hear out of the mouths of babes. And, kids say the darndest things. These are things that we know as a society that, kids, they don't have no filter usually. And not to say that you shouldn't have a filter, but just being more playful and creative with your communication, with your self-expression, with your art. I think you guys really are my artists here. Not to say the other two piles probably aren't, also very creative and artistic themselves, but I'm really seeing you guys just as my artists, really. And you might have an unconventional way with your art. Maybe you mix different mediums together, mixed media artists, or maybe you combine music and like visuals with your art. I don't know, you're just multifaceted, multi-talented. If you don't resonate with that message of being an artist, I don't know yet because I haven't dealt the cards out, but they're really highlighting creativity and inner child for me. So if that doesn't interest you, or that's just not the path you're on, maybe this isn't your pile. Again, I don't know exactly because we haven't dealt the cards yet, but I'm just getting all these colorful downloads. And of the 3 cards, you guys had probably the least colorful depiction going on, but I'm seeing almost like maybe you had felt for a while your world has been drained of color, but you're going to be the one. You're going to be the one to put the color back in your life. You're going to heal that inner child, or, bring that inner child out to play and really start creating something beautiful in your life. And it also says here, turn rejection into an art form. I'm hearing that saying, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it's like rejection is God's protection or something like that. You really are being led on a path by your guides, your angels, your crossed over loved ones. If the doors keep slamming in your face, even if you feel very invested and inspired by something and then it's just brick wall, brick wall, brick wall, or you're really passionate about something but no one else cares, this is turning around for you very soon because you're taking all of those rejections. They're showing me like a writer who has submitted or queried to many different agents, and you just keep getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And then they're also highlighting the fact that J.K. Rowling, her Harry Potter books were rejected before being finally picked up by a publisher. So, I know she's kind of a controversial character these days, but back in the day, the world, she like rocked the world with her wonderful wonderful series, which I still to this day have never read or watched any of the movies on, but I can still appreciate the fandom that was created from Harry Potter. Please don't come for me in the comments that I've never read or watched Harry Potter. I have it on my list to do someday, but I just want to create an ambiance around it. I don't want to just read them as I'm really busy and stuff. I want to really immerse myself in it, if that makes any sense. But we also have here, if you want inspiration, you have to sneak up on it and catch it unawares. So some of you may have really been struggling with some sort of writer's block or creative block, or just not feeling very creative lately, or just wishing you could be more creative even if you have been creative. The word creative just keeps coming up for you guys, but sometimes even if you're not really feeling a project or, feeling in the creative flow, just find something that kind of interests you, even if it's just kind of a half-ass, kind of halfway interest, and just dive in and start doing something. Because as you can get in that creative flow, more inspiration will come in. It doesn't just, it does sometimes come in as just out of the blue, just this amazing epiphany or aha moment or download. Yes, that can happen. And they're also showing me too, your dreams. Your dreams might be great material that you can use to pull inspiration from. No matter what your kind of art or forte is, you can draw a lot of inspiration from your creative or your dreams. But even those of you who have been feeling blocked very, very much lately, you're gonna have to put the color back in your life to get that color to start flowing back in. All right, what else is going on? The messages that are gonna be following group 2 around. I'm excited. Ooh, yeah, the Tower and the Hermit. Okay, yep, exactly. This is about really going within to find those answers, to turn up your own color, to heal your inner child, to help yourself out of whatever ruts or stagnancies or traumas that you've been through. And the Tower card here, he's got 3 arrows going right through his chest here. And to me, it's like a 3 of Swords energy. So it's almost like that heartbreak from the past. This could have even been for some of you something that happened many, many years ago that you still carry with you. Could even have been as far back as childhood, because we are tuning into that inner child kind of energy. But I'm seeing here, it says lust for life, but I read it almost as just for fun. Like, sometimes you need to do something just for fun, and doing that will help heal some traumas from the past. You don't always have to, dive real deep, unpack, try to completely analyze everything you've been through, why people did it, I hate that they did it. You don't have to go down that road and really unleash all the wounds from the past. You don't always have to do that. Healing doesn't always look like that. Sometimes healing can look like you allowing that inner child to come out to play, even though that inner child has been wounded and traumatized. and letting that inner child know it's okay. And one of the best ways you can do that is to take yourself out on like an artist date, like it's talked about in The Artist's Way. I think some of you who are watching this have probably read that book or maybe have heard of it at the very least. But doing those morning pages, there's like 3 morning pages. You just journal things out for 3 pages every morning just to get your brain out on paper so you're not, weighed down, or, if you have some thoughts, just getting those thoughts out, or if you have some creative ideas, getting those ideas out on paper can really help you. But a lot of times we need to kind of pull our energy back from everyone else and from social media, and, we're just being constantly distracted. And this is all about you taking your power back as far as the constant distractions in your life so that you can get back in contact with what your purpose is, what your passions are, and your artistic side, your creative side. All right, what else is going on? Messages for, you guys get 2. The other group only got 1. These are just going to be those messages that are following you around. Further information. We got manifestation here. Hopefully that's not cut off. And domestic harmony. Yeah, so some of these tower moments may have been going on with your family, the family you were born into, or maybe the family you currently live with, if that exists for you. But we have the number 8 here, which is all about taking action. It's about financial abundance and that hard work finally paying off after all of that effort and work. This is stepping into your passion and your purpose. We've also got the number 46, which adds up to 10, which is closing out one old cycle and starting something new with the domestic harmony here. So this to me feels like you guys are taking it slow with the people you live with and maybe even letting them know, hey, I just need a little more time to myself. I need a little more time to be creative. I don't have enough time for myself. I'm constantly busy and doing things, because that's what I see for you guys. It's like you've been so busy. It's like the color has drained from your life. It just feels like going through the motions rather than living from your heart and joy and experiencing things. And yeah, that's really what I see is you're going to be able to manifest domestic harmony. For some of you, this is you manifesting a new home or moving to a new location, maybe even upgrades around your home. I'm seeing someone actually getting new appliances, which is very random, new decor. Maybe you're just deep cleaning and purging and getting rid of things so that you can be able to free up some of that creative energy to manifest. Because think of it this way, when our homes are really cluttered and maybe it's our birthday and we have some extra cash and we want to go get some new clothing or, some new decor items, I don't know your life, whatever feels good that you would spend some additional birthday money on that you don't feel bad about spending money on. But if you already have a really cluttered space, you can go buy that stuff and bring it in, but it doesn't feel as special. It's like there's nowhere to put it. It's like it almost gets lost in the shuffle of everything else going on, the clutter of everything else. But Spirit's now showing me like a closet. Before you go on your little shopping trip, if it's, say you're buying some wardrobe items, you take everything out of your closet and only put back the pieces you love wearing, that you wear regularly, or that, maybe if you only wear them rarely, you still love them and you feel good when you put them on. And you only put those items back in your closet or your dresser or your wardrobe. And everything else, the extraneous, can go. You can purge it, you can donate it, you can, discard it if it's something that's dirty and worn and holes in it and whatever. Even if it is something with dirty and worn and holes in it and it makes you happy, you can still keep that. But yeah, this is about freeing up space to bring in that flow of new creative energy. Because don't you feel so much more inspired when your space is neat and orderly and only the things you love and enjoy are in that space? I know I do. And I know I have a lot of work to do in that department myself. But let's see some additional messages for group number 2. Messages they're going to be hearing or that are going to be following them around. Okay, we have here DNA karma. Yep, there's that inner child or childhood stuff. It's ancestral. It's family life stuff. And we also have lake stillness, which just pairs right up with that hermit energy. So maybe going on a trip or a vacation to the lake, or if you live near a lake, you can stroll around the lake if that's possible for you. We've got some like willow trees, weeping willows here, cascade willows, I'm not sure which one, but they look very willow-like to me. We've got a little canoe on the lake. I'm just gonna kind of point out some signs, some symbols that might be following you around, so you can kind of keep your eyes peeled and your ears listening for these signs. So yeah, like the color green is really standing out, the color pink. we've got water, specifically a lake, we've got a canoe, we've got some rose bushes and some wildflowers, we've got a lantern, they're telling me it's a hawk, although I don't know for sure what kind of bird this is. We've got a moose here. We've got the Three of Swords, that card might be following you around. We've got the Tower and the Hermit, those two cards might also be following you around. Maybe you're hearing some music by Iggy Pop or hearing someone talk about Iggy Pop, quite possibly. The number's 8, the number 46, the number 10, and maybe the caduceus sign with the snakes. We've also got a snake here, so snake symbolism, and it's very interesting. I'm actually wearing my Appetite snake. Let me see. Can we see that? Yeah, I'm also wearing that today. So, yeah, healing and transformational energy going on as well. Maybe you're hearing a lot of commercials about like the Ancestry.com or the 23andMe or something where you want to learn or dive deeper into your DNA, your family line. Or maybe some of you are getting some sort of diagnosis with the DNA card here. Maybe having blood tests or something. I'm hearing the word plasma. I don't know if this means anything. These are just all the different things I'm seeing that you guys might be experiencing coming up for signs, symbols, synchronicities going on in your life. But yeah, I think that's all I'm seeing for you, group number 2. Hey, that rhymed. But please feel free to let me know below what you thought. If this resonated, any stories you want to share, I always love to hear from you guys. And as always, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you, group number 2, right here back at the Den Creative. All right, love you. Bye. All right, group number 3 are those of you who selected the Spirit Quartz and Bruce Springsteen. This is going to be your message. This is just a message that's going to be following you around. Maybe some of what we're talking about now you've heard in other pick of cards, or it's just been on your awareness. We're going to look at any signs, symbols, synchronicities, colors, numbers that may be following you or have been following you or will be following you. Just kind of take it as it resonates. But we have here, I'm on fire. So maybe you're getting a lot of wand energy in your readings lately, if you do a lot of readings. It says the boss here, so there might be something literally with Springsteen, with, the boss. That was his nickname, but maybe something going on with your boss. And it also says here, born to run. So maybe there's something with like a 5K, a marathon. We've got an American flag, which is a pretty big symbol of, a lot of times freedom, but I would beg to differ these days. With an eagle, which also represents freedom, so bald eagle specifically. The colors red, white, and blue might be following you around. But with Bruce Springsteen here, his message says, there will always be magic, even on the darkest nights. Yes, and I really do believe that, because even in the dark night of the soul, or those really depressive times in my personal life, I have always just seen the beauty of the pain or the heartache. I know a lot of times when you're going through it, it's hard to see when you're in it. It's almost like you're too close to the situation to see what's actually going on. But usually that hindsight being 20/20 that it is, once you're out of that dark night and you're, things are going better, you can look back on those times and feel this kind of melancholy rush of excitement about how far you've come, or melancholy just vibe to what was going on. But to me, the word melancholy is so beautiful, and yes, it's kind of a sad word, but there's beauty in it. So it's very interesting that there will always be that magic even on the darkest night. So those of you going through a dark night of the soul, tower moment, heartbreak of some kind, just know there's still magic going on. You still have your guides and angels next to you, near you, with you all the time. And don't give up. I'm hearing don't give up, group 3. But we also have here, may your mistakes, like your sins, be your own. Yes, so this is taking ownership. You guys really are going to be taking ownership of things you've said, done in the past, allowed others to say or do to you in the past, energies you vibed with that you no longer vibe with, that, just forgiving yourself, allowing yourself to move through it, because nobody, it's like, they're giving me a lot of writing analogies today, because I'm like in the thick of writing my young adult paranormal / spiritual / supernatural series right now. But they're showing me like, a blank page isn't going to get you anywhere. Yes, you may write out your first draft and it looks like a dumpster fire, it looks like a hot mess, but really you're the only one that's going to see that anyway. But it's going to at least give you a solid little basis on what to go after or what to change. Even if you're like, I need a word here that really describes how sad she's feeling without just saying sad, because that just doesn't really cover the emotion I'm trying to convey here. but, leaving yourself a little note in that first draft to say, let's make this bigger. Let's take this sad to another level. But maybe right in the moment as you're writing it, you don't know. But as you have time, maybe you're washing your dishes or going about your day, and the perfect word for what you're wanting to convey just pops into your awareness. Or the perfect thing that her body language in the book could show really puts you in the scene, and you're like, yes, that's it. It's about, maybe that first draft looks, again, like a dumpster fire, and you would never share that with anybody. But that doesn't mean that can't become something beautiful. And it's also, you got to make mistakes to learn and grow and evolve and morph into your greatest destiny. Like, that's what they're showing me here. But it also says, follow the river, but keep your eyes on the sea. It's like, yes, you have that goal. You're on your path. And sometimes when you're on that path, you feel so, if it's especially veering off what you wanted and expected, don't ever lose sight of what you're trying to manifest or what you're trying to accomplish in your life. Because yes, the road will be bumpy. It will have ups and downs and detours and a lot of things going on along the way that maybe you didn't want to sign up for, but maybe on a soul level you did. But your ego's like, I didn't sign up for this crap. But now I'm getting crown tingles. So yeah, your guides really are. You guys did select the spirit quartz. So you guys really are tuned into your destiny, your purpose, your mission on this planet. Even if you don't feel you're anywhere near completing it or whatever, again, don't lose sight of the sea while you're flowing through the river of life. In your deepest self what is meant for you. And I think many of you know that someday, somehow, some way, you will be living the life that you've always dreamed of. It's just maybe right now you feel so far from that you just almost want to give up. But this almost looks like a mountain. It's like, yes, and it's a very jagged mountain. This isn't just a nice little slope, rolling hill kind of mountain. I mean, there's jagged little edges, thousands, maybe, probably not millions, but like tens of thousands, quite possibly, just on this one little cluster here. And this is reminding you through, let's get a real close up here. I know the lighting situation isn't great, but even through each little facet that you're climbing and morphing and changing and moving through, transforming through, you're one step closer. You're one step closer. You're one step closer. So don't give up. Don't forget what your mission is, because when we can lose sight of what we're doing, what we're even doing here, it can make everything feel so just out of control and yucky. Yes, sometimes we do need to get real present and focus on the ish in front of us, but don't lose sight of your destiny, your goal, what you're wanting in your life. Don't ever lose sight of that. Okay, what else do we have going on? Messages, signs, symbols, synchronicities that are going to be following group number 3 around. We've got the victory card with the 6 of Wands. We got a laurel wreath here. And kind of toward the end of the reading, I'm going to point out everything that I see. That you guys could even, journal or write down these signs, these symbols, numbers, colors, synchronicities that you may be seeing. Especially if you've already been seeing them, just know you're probably going to really start seeing them even more. All right, so we have the 6 of Wands, and we also have the 10 of Swords. Yes, you guys are closing out, feeling that stuckness. That river of life is going to start really flowing for you again. But this is after you have really tuned into this sense of purpose. Some of you may have actually selected Group 2. I'm seeing a lot of that kind of underlying energy of Group 2 going on in your reading as well. And it's almost like we've got these kind of flowing, almost like it reminds me of in the old cartoons, like in the desert, it's like with Wile E. Coyote and stuff, it's like there'd be like a spinning like line that'd spin, kind of circle and spin and then move on, like to indicate the wind was blowing. But what I'm hearing with this card here with these kind of striations of wind going past is like the winds of change are here. And it's like, hear the saying, I can't talk because I'm like getting a major download right now. You hear the saying, put in some elbow grease. She's got like a little purple patch. Let's see if we can get a better look at this. You guys are the closer introspective group here of the cards, but she's got a purple patch here on her elbow. So it's like putting in the elbow grease with the color purple. That is that symbol of spirit. Spirit is helping you or amplifying the elbow grease you're putting into whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, so you can close out this old nasty cycle of feeling stuck or dead of life or just void of happiness, excitement, abundance in your life. Moving through this cycle to take you to the 6 of Wands. Because I almost want to do this. It's like that's where you've been, this is where you're going. It's going to take work, though, I'm not going to lie. It's going to take a lot of effort on your part and with spirit. So asking spirit. I mean, spirit's already there co-creating with you anyway. But when you can ask them for help and bring them along for the ride in a more, intentional way, things can really amplify and work faster for you. That's really what I see with that. Okay, so what other messages are going to be following group 3 around? Ooh, relationship change. Yeah, for some of you, this could be the end of a relationship. That could be what's indicated here. If it's already happened for you, or you've already ended a significant friendship, relationship with, it doesn't even always have to be with a person. It could be with a place, with a location, like a situation, even possibly. Maybe you're leaving behind a hobby that you did daily, or a residence that you lived at or went to daily, or a coffee shop you went to daily. And for some of you, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like you're losing a part of yourself if this person or situation or place leaves your life. But really, I am seeing this was divinely guided, whatever it is. Even if you're like, there's no way this was divinely guided. I need this person in my life. I love them. They love me. Why can't we just make this work? Whatever it is, it's leading you to greater victory. And it may even be that some of you are changing relationship with one thing to make room for someone or something that's more resonant with where you're going in life rather than where you've been, because you've been doing a lot of healing and you're going to grow and transform and change through this. But we've got the number 56 here, which adds up to an 11. So this is all about partnership. It's about awakening. It's about connecting with nature. It's about really going on your spiritual path, your spiritual journey, and you're up for the challenge. I know some of you may feel like you're down and out right now. You've hit rock bottom and you're like, I'm just done. Just put a fork in me, put another sword in me, I'm done. But others of you are like, you know what? I'm ready to, rise from the ashes like the phoenix. It's really the energy I'm getting, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And I just heard, like, in the desert, like I don't know if it's a hawk going by, like, like in the old movies, they're like panning across the desert. You just hear a single hawk cry out, and there's like no sign of life, and everything's so hot and just devoid. It's almost like it's like bridging from everything being cold and desolate to hot and desolate, but you're bringing the life back to it. You're bringing the freedom back to it. You're on fire in a good way, though, not like desolate kind of way. You're like passionate. You're driven. You're desiring these changes, and you're going to be the one. You're going to be the one to make them. Even if there are tower moments that are seeming to happen to you rather than for you, just know that your higher self is orchestrating these things so that you can rise above. That's powerful, guys. That really is. All right. What other messages are going to be following group 3 around spirit? Ooh, we've got fog veiled. But again, this is what you're coming out of, because those winds of change are blowing this fog out of the canyon so that you can see the trees. You can see that mountain in the distance even better. You can see the path ahead, where maybe as before you had no sense of direction because you were just in it. Remember what I said, I think it was in your group. Sometimes you can't see, or you lose sight of that pinnacle or that goal or that, purpose, because you're too in it. That dark night of the soul, you can't see. That's what I was saying. You can't see the beauty within it or the magic within it while you're in it. But it's starting to blow all of that out, so you're going to get the clarity. Very Ace of Swords energy. You're getting that clarity. All right, what else for group number 3? We have here love, compassion. Yeah, so some of you are releasing people from your life that just can't give love because they can't even love themselves, some of you. And we've got some like tree symbolism here, like the tops of trees. And they're evergreen trees or pine trees, it looks like to me. And then we've got the tops of some pine trees or evergreen trees here. So maybe there's a trip to the mountains in your future. Or you're seeing a lot of mountain symbolism. Again, you guys literally did select a crystal mountain here. So there's that. The color purple. I'm seeing the colors green and pink as well. Red and blue. Red, white, and blue. We've got yellow. Yeah, we've got like a tealy color, like a throat chakra vibe going on here as well. But the number 56 and number 11, the number 10, the number 6, any combination of those numbers, or if you want to add all those numbers up and get the final result, that could also be following you around. We've got some star symbolism, which the star comes after the tower. And then I just heard you're earning your stripes. The tower was helping you earn your stripes so that you could become the star of your own life. And this is also a card of recognition. So those of you who haven't been getting the recognition you deserve, it's coming in. And I'm also seeing that Ace of Swords that we talked about a minute ago, and then the Ace of Wands, the victory he's carrying here into this card. He's going into the future with that Ace of Wands, that inspiration. And I do believe, was that group 1? See, I don't remember already. I think it was group 1 that had the Ace of Wands as well. But I'm also seeing, you know, maybe fog, maybe sun breaking through the clouds. Maybe you're outside and you actually, it's just cloudy all day, and then you come outside and you see the sun just shining, breaking bright through the clouds. What other signs or symbols? Hand symbolism. Hands are, I get a sense of healing hands. Might see a lot of heart symbolism as well, healing that heart. Maybe even putting your hands on your heart can really help you. Maybe you see a lot of like little figurines or people putting their hands on their heart. That could be an indication of like a motherly, nurturing energy as well. I'm getting a very motherly vibe from this card. Mother symbolism, white horses. We've got necklaces going on with this horse. We've got someone who's topless here. I'm just literally saying all the little like visual cues and signs that I'm seeing for you guys. We've got a moon in the background here, full moon to be specific. But yeah, I think that's mostly what I'm seeing for you. So some of these signs, symbols, synchronicities, colors, numbers, combinations of all the above may be following you around. If these have already been things you've been seeing or have been in your awareness, just keep your eyes peeled and your ears listening for these signs. Yeah. And spirit quartz. Maybe you're hearing a lot about spirit quartz, or maybe even Googling spirit quartz. Maybe that can bring you some additional guidance on what's going on here. But basically, this is an amethyst spirit quartz. So it takes that connection of the crown chakra and amplifies it, 10,000-fold with all these little facets that are amplify. And also, let's see. I got a bunch of Lemurians back here. Let's grab even a singing Lemurian in this group. But if you want to pair this up with some clear quartz, Lemurian quartz, Brazil quartz, that can really amplify that spiritual connection and your just reaching beyond the veil, and also your heart, because your crown and your heart really are intertwined in a way that it's not easy to put into words, but I think if you know, you know. But yeah, that's, I think, sorry, that was loud. That's all I'm seeing for you, group number 3, but please let me know below what you thought, if this resonated, any stories you want to share about anything we uncovered here, or just anything you want to talk about that this reading kind of sparked for you. And as always, group 3, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you right here back at the Done Creative. All right, I love you so much. Bye!